The next generation is getting really stupid. This TikTok teacher from Atlanta recently went viral for saying that the next generation of students are falling dangerously behind.
I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level.
And according to him, no one seems to be paying attention, talking about how middle schoolers have all the skills of 4th graders and some even on a level of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. But that's not the worst part about these children. Despite them struggling to read and write at the grade level, these kids are being pushed over to the next grade, and teachers are questioning why adults and parents aren't doing anything. His video caused multiple teachers to comment and post saying they're facing the exact same thing, with some putting the blame on parents, saying they treat schools more like a free daycare rather than a place of learning, while others are arguing that teachers shouldn't be airing out their students' struggles in public. So if you didn't know,
year after uncovering the truth about school technology.
I resigned mid-year because I could not in good conscience remain in this system any longer. And I'm telling you, this goes deep. Since 2019, kids have been tracked the moment they log into their school devices. Their emotions, behavior, diagnosis, their race and gender, every click, every search is recorded and handed over to tech companies without your consent. Programs like HMH, Amplify, Dreambox, Panorama, Class Dojo, Success Ed, all of this Khan Academy, they're backed by billionaires like Gates, Bezos, Zuckerberg. You can literally Google this info. These are so much more than just educational tools. They are surveillance systems, collecting data on your children. Schools sign contracts as your child's parent under a loophole, a legal loophole. And tech companies are legally considered school officials. That means they can track and collect everything. This is not education anymore. It is data mining. It is manipulation and exploitation. And I refuse to stay silent. Protect your kids.
This teacher
Shalom, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakwakwadah, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations but are actually Yasharala. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, you have these two videos I showed where you have these people talking about the dangers of school, as well as, well, Slacky, more specifically, the fact that the school technology, like the iPads or the school computers and stuff like that, they are data mining what the students do and use, and a lot more stuff, which I thought that's pretty crazy. In addition to that, another thing that I also wanted to add was this, which I did a lesson on this before, where they said the students, the kids, whatever, they are getting dumber. And I didn't say that. They said that could be simply because they said that there's so many students that are performing at on grade levels several times below what they are actually expected to do. So, like, this is something that I had always said. This is a result of the advancement of technology. Technology is the primary evil that is happening, that is responsible for this, simply because like, take for example texting. All right, simply because so many people are so used to texting and whatnot, there's autocorrect, and you don't need to actually remember, okay, well, how do you spell the word generation? Okay, let's say, how do you spell the word generation? And then yet, instead of typing the whole thing out, autocorrect just shows you, here's the generation, where the kids, and I saw a video of it where there was teachers that were showing, look at this kid's dumb ass way that he spelled generation or whatever, where it was shun or SHUNE at the end of it, where rather than the actual proper spelling. So again, like, this is one of the things I always said. Even though me personally, I do use technology damn near every day. I use it a lot, but at the same time, I can still acknowledge that, yeah, even though I use this, even though I like, technology and whatever, it doesn't change the fact that this stuff is objectively evil and it's objectively destroying people. as a result of it. All right, which that's just something that me personally I've been trying to kind of like break out of that habit of over reliance on certain things, but that's the thing, because for example, say for example you instead of like typing stuff out, you could be writing stuff down. But again, like, no one really does that whole writing stuff except for maybe students, if they still have that, unless they went completely to digital. All right, because now because of the advancement of technology, rather than giving the student, rather than having students use paper and pencils and stuff like that, and putting in money for physical school supplies, now they just say, okay, well, hey, instead of physical school supplies, let's just get all these technology, an iPad or computers and stuff like that. Well, as a result of that, you also saw how, as a matter of fact, I heard this happened to me before, actually, where in my school there was a teacher that said, oh yeah, I just sent a request to to one of those tech companies, and then they just sent the school, not me, not her, not the teacher, but she said they sent the school free devices, so for the students to help with the education and stuff like that. And that was the thing where the school is not the school, the tech companies are actually willing. There's lots of different not necessarily programs, but what's the word? There's lots of different companies that are willing to push in, like to put in and help with stuff like this. For example, there is banks offer stuff like, if you are a student, you get certain exemptions and stuff like that, or you have to pay less, or if you are this, then a third and stuff like that, or you get a free movie ticket or something like that. Like all these different things where they are aiding in, not necessarily aiding, but I guess aiding, quote unquote, or contributing to these types of school education systems, when in actuality, there's very clearly, we see that for the tech stuff, there are nefarious intent behind it. All right, data mining and stuff like that, as this woman said. So with that being said, not this one, let's continue on. 2nd Ezra chapter 4 verse 17, for look how much the world shall be evil, shall be weak. Let me start over. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 17, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Okay, so evil shall grow, and evil shall grow, number one, and the people are going to get weaker. And when I say weaker, it doesn't just extend to physically being weak, although that has been a thing with this whole alphabet stuff. And now, as a result of that, there's also people that are dumber, because people are not smart, or the next generation are becoming less and less smarter and more dependent on technology for everything. Rather than being capable of, because that was another thing actually. A teacher told me a story where the importance of learning math, X, Y, and Z. He said when there was a power outage and the cashier, cash registers, whatever, wasn't working properly and wasn't doing all the automatic stuff, there was this one girl that had to be sent home because she wasn't able to give exact change and precise change and whatever and stuff like that, because she was so used to the register doing all the stuff for her and telling her exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. So that was basically the thing where it's learning the actual practical knowledge, or not the mechanical understanding of practical math or whatever. That's where the importance is. But because people because we have technology that does calculators that do this and that and whatever, that does all these automatic stuff, then people don't bother learning the fundamentals anymore because all the technology does everything for them. All right. So yes, this is as a result of that, people are becoming weaker through age and just are slowly getting to the point where, okay, well, I don't need to worry about doing stuff. I don't need to think hard about, do I need to make this decision and whatnot, or is this someone going to make the decision for me, or is someone going to do all the research for me? Which is why we had that whole thing with the C9B, where people, they didn't do any research. A lot of people, I'll say a lot, but because there were some, but a lot of people did not do any research on their own, and they just wanted to believe an authoritative figure rather than doing any sort of research on their own to determine, okay, is this best for me? Do I want to do this X, Y, and Z? All right. Next, Second Corinthians 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's basically the thing where the device here is, slowly normalizing a lack of autonomous thought, all right, or individual thought. And that's probably the better term to use, where rather than actually think and work out the stuff on your own, you're being told to by either a device or someone else. Okay, rather than, okay, let me think, do I want to do this, or is this the best thing for me and whatnot? All right, now also let me get this, Matthew 15 verse 14, let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. And this is one thing that I genuinely hate, because this is when it comes to this whole education thing. As a matter of fact, let me actually get this, because there was this one stuff that I wanted to show. There's this one video that had shown someone, bear with me one moment, I want to get this and share it, because there was this one, fuck. Okay, so here. Slocky.
That black folks with college degrees are 80% more likely than white folks with degrees to be unemployed in any given.
So yeah, basically over here, it lets you know that, people are gaining. I'm going to link this in the description because I don't want to play it right now. But basically, people are seemingly, keyword being seemingly, gaining education, but it's not actually helping them out. All right, and that is the issue. All right, and by the way, there's a lot more to this. I think it's like a whole minute. All right, you have to listen. You have to actually hear and listen to everything that goes into it. All right, but basically, the thing about this is how, with this whole education thing, there is that destruction where the people that are in charge right now, they are the blind, and they don't actually know how to properly maintain proper prosperity for its people. All they know is, okay, well, if someone else prospers, I'm just going to steal from them and let them prosper. That's why this kingdom is not going to stand. That's why this kingdom is going to eventually be destroyed. Okay, all right, their prosperity is not permanent, all right, but yet people seem to think that way. So, Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's the thing where, again, actually, if you heard, there was this one thing, LeBron School, what was it? Low. So yeah, basically, one example is over here in LeBron's school, his I Promise school, his 8th graders are not passing their tests, simply because he is a basketball player, and I don't think he actually graduated college. Let me see if he did. Oh, so apparently he didn't. But basically, the thing is that he doesn't really have the proper skills to help navigate, people in the right direction. So as a result of that, people, they are being misled into into society ill prepared. And one of the biggest things is that you need to have the proper guidance, someone that knows, okay, well, how do you do that? But simply because, oh, LeBron is rich, this, that, and the third, and stuff like that, but he got his riches from, not from, I mean, okay, of course he got his riches, but like, it's in a sense of like, I don't know how to say it, but it's not like in a way that is mimicable. All right, so people can't just copy him by the droves, and he's actually teaching stuff that is not required for an NBA player. All right, so it's like, well, whatever he's hiring and all the things, like you need to actually have what's the word? You need to actually have the proper knowledge on what is needed to make a proper school and to build up people in the proper way, in the proper methods and stuff like that, rather than just say, okay, well, I want to do this, so I'm just going to go and do this, but you don't have the actual thing. Because especially when it comes to students, lots of different students learn in different ways, so it's very hard for you to just do something ill prepared without actually knowing and understanding. But especially, like, for example, like special needs students definitely need, because you need someone that is able to explain it in whatever special way that they're incapable of learning. And and his lack of capability to do that, that's what leads to this, as on top of the fact that in recent times, the degradation of people's, or it's like not people's, but I'll say kids' intelligence has decayed over time. All right, so Psalm 64 verse 5, they encourage themselves in evil matter, they commune of laying snares privily, they say, who shall see them? And these are the snares where people, yes, our information is being data mined, number one, or it's like not ours, but the students' information are being data mined, or the kids more specifically. But also just the fact that the school system is set up as per many teachers have already said 1,000 times. All right, it's set up so that the students fail, so that they just become, okay, well, a fucking McDonald's worker or whatever. All right, so as a result of that, this is where we have the blind leaders of the blind, and blind leading these people into a ditch, either intentionally or unintentionally. All right, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, about ball, and shalom.